Hello, this is Mr. Horthoren signing on with something a little, come on, focus, focus, a little, even different for what I usually do. So, I have gotten into a serious kick of Magic the Gathering cards. Come on, you wanted to focus. Specifically, of the Commander variant. Now, the Commander variant is my little dividers here. The Commander variant is a type of play in which you have a 100-card deck. I'm using one that I've built for my mom, actually, because she's been wanting to play. Is a 100-card variant of Magic the Gathering. And this is for anyone who doesn't know. I apologize if this is something that you know and are just saying, get on with it. And I decided, you know, if I'm in such a kick for this, and I want to do this as just personal fun, obviously, you know, maybe I should do a video on it. Now, I've completely jerry-rigged this entire situation to work. I have my cam, this thing, hooks up to an old Canon camera stand. And because of that, what the... I could have sworn I had 3 of these. But I guess they got pulled out and used in other decks already. One of the big things about Magic the Gathering is you don't really know how much a card is worth until you look it up. However, there are some cards that are shiny. Those are what's called foil. And with that in mind, I don't have many foil cards. In fact, I only just got into Magic the Gathering during the Commander 2015 series. And, you know, all in all, I like it. It's a fun game to just play. The issue is, my main deck, which is built off the back of the original Plunder the Grave. Come on, focus. Oh god, the screen tearing. There we go. The old Plunder the Grave. I will get a proper light here. But that's for later. It's a black-green. The original commander is Marin of... Come on. Come on. Come on. Focus. Anyway, Marin of Clan Neltoth. You can just barely see that. Come on. Anyways, so basically what she does is whenever another creature you control dies, you get an experience counter. At the beginning of your end step, choose target creature card in your graveyard. If that card's converted mana cost is less than or equal to the number of experience counters you have, return it to the battlefield. Otherwise, put it into your hand. Now, I'm certain that you can already see, if you play Magic, where this is going. For those that don't, well, let's put it like this. I have a card in here that allows me to sacrifice a creature. His name is Jared. Chords. Jared. Golgari Lichlord. Oh, so you want to focus on this one instead. And you can read that. Oh yeah. Now, taking into account that creature, I have another that, and mind you, that is under no restriction of anything, like, at all. I am trying to find the specific card to show you guys, because I can't actually remember. There it is. I got this guy. A Verdant Force. Which means I could sack 1/1 green Saproling creature tokens. Each upkeep. Now, if I do that, that means that within 9 turns, I'd be able to use, all things considered, without any other sources of damage, I would be able to use this guy as 7 flat damage with Jared. However, there's an even worse one in here. Trying to remember where it is. As with all my videos, this is the hard part. Oh, and then we have this card, which gains Champion of Stray Souls. Sacrifice X other creatures, return X target creature cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. Now, here's a situation for you. Say you have 4 creatures on the field, not including this Champion of Stray Souls, and you have 4 creatures in the graveyard. Okay, sacrifice the 4 creatures, bring the 4 creatures back. Suddenly, your commander now has 4 tokens on them. Yeah, this deck is not good. It's a really fun deck to use, but the issue is I have problems with playing other players. Come on, I want you to focus. Playing with my friends and such. And here's the other... Oh, no, you're not a legendary. You're just a really scary thing. There we go. There's the other legendary that's in this deck. Focus, you ass. Come on. There we go. Whenever a player sacrifices another permanent, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. Oh yeah, no, this card is as bad as everything else. And this deck has been modified over the course of the last 2 years. Land, 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 and more land. Yeah, it's a deck that I enjoy playing. Yeah, it's a 5-drop for a 6/6 with Renowned. And it's just, I haven't had a good... Oh, there's Shiny. A good game with anyone with this deck. And I blame it all on this card. Eldrazi Monument. Yeah, they gain +1/+1 and indestructible. Right, you see that. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice a creature. Well, if I just get it back, then what's the point? So, and then we get Caller of the Pack, which is just a flat 8/6 with Myriad and Trample. And then you have Kessage Cagebreakers. Obviously, can create an army. This guy pisses people off. Because he just comes back, and he comes back, and he destroys, and he destroys, and he destroys everything. And he destroys land. Land. Oh, yeah. Yeah. How long has this been going for? 9 minutes. Nah. We can talk a little bit longer. This is my favorite combo. Basically, Battering Crassus, and then play a card, sacrifice him, so that I can use Jared's ability of dealing, like, what is it, 2 damage? It's like a dick move to do. It's just 2 damage. But it's 2 damage every turn that is unblockable, unless you have a card effect saying you can block it. God, I hate having to say that. But that's the kind of decks that I have. I have another one, which I'm just going to show you the commander. I'm not going to go through, because now that you've seen that deck, you can probably guess what kind of decks I come up with. Is that the commander? Yes. Okay. Come on. Focus. Awesome. Daxos the Returned. Oh, yeah! Oh yeah, this card, basically, there is no limitation on how many times you can cast this either. So in a single turn, if you have 9 mana, you could cast 3. And I have not had a single game in which by turn 6, I am not already at, like 7 or 8 mana, because I have multi-mana things in that deck. Alright, on to red. So I recorded this once before on a camera, and the camera battery died, except it was at, like, full. So I was going, what? And then, sorry about that, I checked the camera stand that I was using with the camera, and I decided, you know what? I'm just going to use my webcam. And then I was thinking, how am I going to use my webcam for a video like this, in which that it all has to be right here? Well, looking at the camera stand, it turns out that my webcam and the camera stand both had something on them that would make this possible. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to be how it is, period. I don't like how this looks, mainly because it's not, like, you're right here, looking down and, like, out and down. I would rather it just be straight down. But the issue is that I only just got this desk, this nice wood desk, which I have my parents to thank for that. But, you know, all things considered, I don't know what I'm doing yet. Now, this is a prelude to a video that is probably going to be going up on Fridays. That today is me just talking about cards, something that I enjoy. I have... One second. This is my binder of Magic, right? It's quite thick. This is my binder of Yu-Gi-Oh! Let's compare really quick. Blues. Okay. I like card games. I love card games. They're one of my favorite things in the world. There's Magic. And there's Yu-Gi-Oh! You're probably looking at this and going, well, you have more Magic cards. You'd be right. Or you have more Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. And I'd say, well, you'd be right, but the issue is I have 4 of those. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 commander decks. So there's 500 cards right there, right? And then I have another one, which is right... Oh, no. And then I have 500... or 105 cards right here that I picked up. Right? 105. Now, my pride and joy right now is this guy. A Johnny, Mentor of Heroes. His ability is 1/1 counters on 1, 2, or 3 target creatures you control. Oh, distribute 3 1/1 counters among 1, 2, or 3. So you can have up to 9 1/1 counters. I didn't think about that. And then his ultimate ability is gain 100 health. Just gain 100 health. For 8 loyalty, you gain 100 health. Now, that's BS in of itself, but he is a $20 card. No joke. Just 20 bucks for that card. If you wanted to just flat out buy that card online, you would probably pay 20 bucks for near mint condition. Now, I'm not saying that's how much the card would cost, but that's probably how much the card would cost. It's like an $18 card, but upselling and whatnot kind of sucks. Anyways, back to the loose decks. Putting away my fat packs. Commander decks back off to the side. Now I'm not sure how long this video will be. It'll probably be long enough for me to get through my cards, but not much longer. Actually, you know what? Let's just continue from here, because that's, yeah. You know what? Actually, I don't really feel like it. This will be going up on a Friday. So if you're seeing it in any other day, well, I fucked up. One of the big issues with me in cards is I ended up with a ton of whites and greens. And I don't like either of those colors in my decks. Well, I like greens. Greens are tend to be pretty good. Noose Constrictor in foil. Oh yeah. Let's just show that off really quick. You can't really see it because of the light. I will get a light that faces straight down here soon. But for now, we're just gonna deal with it. Now, I have this card. And I only have this card because I picked it up for my mom. It is Verdant. What is it called? Horthoren Enchantress. It is a summon Enchantress card. When Enchantress is in play, you may immediately draw a card from your library each time you cast an enchantment. It's a 0/2. It is incredibly old. In fact, it has no markings on it for when it was made, is how old it is. And I do plan on making a deck for that card. The issue is, of course, that I need to figure out a deck to build with that. So, at this point, we're getting towards the back end of stuff. I don't really know what cards are interesting and what aren't, mainly because I haven't entered most of these into the systems that I use. The current system that I use is Tapped Out. I was using Deckbox, but due to some limitations within the system and lack thereof features, I decided to go with this. Now, you're probably seeing these every now and then, which are colorless to play, and you're wondering, well, why don't you just put that in a colorless deck? Well, the thing is, it takes 1 white mana, which, yeah, that's not that bad, but it doesn't fit the theme. So, yeah. White creatures are towards the back end because I have the most white creatures ever. And this is a prelude, of course, to another video that I will be doing here soon. And I might be doing a giveaway of a card. I'm not sure if I will or not, because I tend to get very attached to cards very quickly. Now, Magic. Lovely game. I'm annoying all my friends with it. You know what? Let's end on a shot of my legendary creatures and or commanders. So, that's my collection of loose leaf cards. At some point, I do plan on improving my setup and going through each of my commander decks and explaining what I've done to them versus what they were originally and such things. But for now, I think we'll call it a day. This has been Mr. Horthoren, with Magic the Gathering, I guess. I hope you enjoyed. Every Friday there will be something Magic related, on a huge kick of that, so don't know how long I'll do that for. Yeah. If you enjoy Magic, see you next Friday.